Hello, Fabulous Libra. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of September 2018. Looking at life and love. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. What an amazing month it is, and it truly is so amazing for you. And part of what makes it so amazing is love, and it is just the beginning. There are big love lessons coming up, lessons in love of self and romantic love as well. So I want to start with Venus because it is going to be right around the 3rd of the month, right out of the gate, really. Depending on where you are on the planet, you can give or take a day on either side. Well, this is where Venus will go into shadow. And Venus will go into shadow in your sign. Now, whenever Venus enters shadow, it means eventually she's going to go retro and she's going to return to your sign a little bit later in the year. And of course, I'll be here to talk about it every step of the way. But for now, it is very important that you observe what is going on in your life in the first 10 days of this month, because that is when we are going to have Venus moving through your sign. And this tends to be one of those rare times when you get to ask yourself and truly be honest with yourself. Do I love this person, place, thing, situation? And especially when it's Venus in your sign. Do I love myself? These are going to be some guiding questions for you between now and the end of the year. And it is a time that will stand out. As you look back on your life, you are going to say, wow, I remember when Venus went retro in my sign and all that stuff happened. And then that person I met, and then this person came back, and all these wonderful things, right? And sometimes dramatic things may very well happen too. And that's part of life. But I do think that at the very least, you are going to start racking up some notable memories. So do pay attention what is happening, who is presenting themselves, who is showing up. If it feels not very obvious as to who this person may be, or if it feels a little bit like a non-event as you're starting the month, just wait. Wait until we get later into the month. Right around the 24th of the month, again, you want to give it a little bit of a bracket on either side. Well, that is when we are going to have a full moon in your opposite sign. Normally you get one full moon per opposite sign per year, and this is your moment. And having a full moon in your opposite sign, it means that the universe wants you to understand something about yourself that can only come about through relating to another person one-on-one. As I like to say, to see yourself more clearly as reflected in the eyes of another. Now, it doesn't mean to take someone else's opinion as your own. It doesn't mean that you have to believe everything you hear about yourself in particular. But what it means is that you get a chance to get honest with yourself about where you are in love and why, and how you really feel about it. For those of you open to meeting someone new, when you have a full moon in your opposite sign, someone is there to help you to understand these very lessons. Someone does show up. Now, this full moon is standing across the sky from Mercury in your sign. And this tells me there's a lot of conversation going on and this idea of opinions being expressed as well. Now, you are one as a Libra who tries to find, a more balanced perspective in all things. You can be very relative in that regard. Like you understand that different people have their own truth. But this is a time when you really have to take that to heart, because this can be a time that feels like it provokes you a little bit, or it challenges you, it asks you to question yourself. These can also be great things, and it looks like these are things that are very empowering to you. It is at this time that Mars is moving forward and has returned to that very flirtatious and romantic part of the sky that I've been speaking to you about when I've been discussing Mars retrograde season, because we're still in the season, even though Mars is direct. The fact that Mars, the ruler of your opposite sign, is in this very romantic part of your sky, the fact that you're having a full moon in your opposite sign, well, it tells me that there is certainly that possibility and that excitement and that awakening that new love and new connections can bring, or reconnections can bring. And this really should help kick up your awareness where it comes to what this Venus retrograde season may be about for you as well. So it is a powerful time for those of you open to meeting someone new. For those of you who are in an established bond, you can expect a lot going on with your relationship at this time. Now, sometimes it's just like your partner's really busy, like that's the kind of stuff that can happen. But if you are someone who's had sort of ongoing issues with your partner, this is where you're having some difficult conversation. It could also be at this time that you are considering, what you're being shown versus what it is that is being said. This can also be a time with that Saturn connection to this full moon that you're considering your commitment and your responsibility, and you are looking at the bigger picture and wondering how much this person is going to work for that bigger picture of your life. Now remember, because it is Venus retrograde season, chances are any decisions made at this time where it comes to love are not likely to stick. What I would say is be open to the experience. With this time, because it is asking you, do you love this person? Do you love yourself? Do you love it? You are going to get those opportunities, more opportunities to more further explore these questions in the weeks and the months ahead. This is just a time that seems particularly emotional, where if there are issues, they come more to the surface. Now, if there are not issues in your bond, that is amazing. Some of this can play out with a business partner, or it could just be that there are schedules and busyness and other things happening that help you to demonstrate how committed you actually are. If all of that wasn't enough, I'm going to take it back to earlier this month when we have a new moon. That new moon is going to happen right around the 9th of the month, and it is happening in the sign just before yours. This is a part of the sky for you that has to do with closing karmic ties and ending karmic chapters and knowing what it is that has served its purpose in your life. So it's a new moon, but it has a strong sense of closure to it as well. At the same time, this is a very spiritual part of the sky. It has to do with being connected to Source. And this particular new moon is speaking in supreme harmony with Pluto and in harmony with Jupiter. So it tells me there's some good karma to be reaped, and these could be some good opportunities that show up for you based on good things you did before. They could be financial opportunities as well. With Neptune standing across the sky from this new moon, it does suggest that this can also be a time when you just sense a lot stirring within your soul. Your dreams can be very lucid at this time, and they can also be very revealing of your own fears. Now, ultimately, when fears come up, they come up to be released and to be healed, and that is part of the great opportunity now. What I love about this month for you, well, look, there's so much to love here, but I love that you are at the beginning of a journey. You're at the beginning of a journey of love. And as much as we can, talk about other people, which we will, coming up in the period ahead and on my website and all of that, well, yes, we're going to talk about other people. But really, a lot of this retrograde season is going to be spent on you and looking at yourself and looking at your measure of self-love and compassion for yourself. And that's because Venus is going to be moving in and out of your sign. It's going to spend part of the retrograde season in your sign, but by the time we get to that new moon, it is moving into the sign just after yours. And that's a part of the sky that has to do with self-esteem and self-love, which is going to be an integral part of your experience in love with another person. And this is valuable. This is immense. This is a time that you are at the beginning of a journey, and the depths with which you will come to love yourself are still yet to amaze you. Well, thank you so much for watching. You can get a video like this every week by logging on to nadiyashah.com. Sign up to be one of my superstars. Superstars get expanded, exclusive video scopes each and every week, unlimited access to special horoscopes, which are also on my website, and so much more. All of this in the superstar space. I look forward to meeting you there. It'll be a great month. Enjoy.